Good afternoon, everybody. Glad you're here. I'm going to introduce some very important people to you. Y'all know Miss Holbrooks. Okay, this is Miss Judy Lovern. She is our dual enrollment, she's over all dual enrollment for West Georgia Tech, yes. And then we have Miss Dee Dee Patterson, and she is over all of the cosmetology programs. And aesthetics. Okay, so we're glad to have them tonight, and we're also really glad to be the first school to get to pilot this concurrent enrollment for cosmetology. So we're learning. They've worked very, very hard, especially Miss Dee Dee, getting all this together. It is going to be a big shift, a huge shift in what we have done previously, but it's all for the benefit of our kids. There's a lot of really good things that are coming out of this for your kids. So I wanted you to just be able to see what all the benefits for our students are. Well, first of all, if you are doing this program 10th through 12th grade, you're knocking out part of your college, and when you leave high school, as soon as you turn 18, you're ready to go take your state board. So you're about ready to go to work, guys. You can start earning real money right then. You're going to have all the exposure to the advanced techniques that Ms. Holbrooks does a great job teaching, but this is going to just up those skills even more. You'll be able to walk into a salon and say you have this many hours working on patients, or clients, I'm sorry. West Georgia Tech has a fabulous job placement rate, guys. Some programs have 100%. Ms. Dee Dee, what's your job placement rate?
Our job placement rate?
Yes.
Do you know? If they want a job, we can find them a job.
If you want a job, she can find you a job, okay? And then the opportunities that you have to network and build relationships with other people. If you want to open up a salon when you leave, and that's your goal in your life, you want to own your own salon. You're meeting other stylists all throughout, people who have experience. And I already said real salon work. And then you're going to see in just a second, this is going to take up a chunk of your day. It's 2 blocks of your day. So you may be thinking like, man, I'd really like to go to work-based learning. Well, I want you to think of this as paying yourself. You're not necessarily getting a paycheck, but guys, that's how much it costs. That's just for the tuition, okay? So think of this as your paycheck. You're investing in yourself still, even though you're not getting a paycheck from a job, okay? This is still money in your pocket. You can get into the workforce faster at a higher wage as soon as you leave high school. As long as you're a dual enrolled student, your textbook is covered and some supplies. There's some things that you'll be responsible for, but it's all listed on your program sheet that you got. And then also you're earning stackable credentials. So say life happens. You start the program and you do the first year, you complete the salon and spa specialist, life happens. You need to go to work. That's okay. Guess what doesn't go away? Your college credit. You can go back to West Georgia Tech whenever you're ready, and you can continue your journey with them. Or any technical school. For us at the high school level, teaching this on our campus means that you can start in the 10th grade before you have a driver's license. And you're on the campus with your friends. When you walk out, you're going to go to our lunchroom. When you leave Ms. Holbrooks' class in the afternoon, you're going to go to your softball practice. And you don't have to worry about transportation there and back. You can participate in extracurriculars. Even though it's a college class, you can still play sports. You can still have good connections with your friends and go to prom with them and have fun. You're still going to be here for pep rallies and things like that. So you get that high school experience with the college credit. After 1 year in the program, you will be a pathway completer if you're not already. Okay? So it only takes 1 year to be a pathway completer. It may free up some time in your schedule for other things that you want to do later on. Don't forget, you get a bump for dual enrollment classes. Okay, it's a 10-point bump for your first 10 dual enrolled classes. So if you're looking at wanting a high GPA, guys, this will help you out. And then my favorite part, sometimes when I send kids to the Carroll campus for a trades class, they're walking in, they're the only kid in precision machining from Haralson County Schools. That might be a little scary, right? Not you guys. You're going to be in Ms. Holbrooks' class where you know and love with your friends. That's a pretty good perk if I was in high school. All right. So who is eligible? If you are a high school, if you're going to be a sophomore, junior, or senior next year, and you have at least a 2.0 grade point average, which is about a 73, okay, then you are eligible. You just have to complete the steps. Your schedule commitment is going to be 2 blocks of your day. So what this will look like, you already take 2 electives every day, right? You have 2 academics generally and 2 electives. Still the same thing. Your electives are just back to back, and both of them are going to be cosmetology. So you'll stay with Ms. Holbrooks for 2 blocks a day. Okay. And then your last year, you do have to go to the West Georgia Tech campus, one of them. Okay. By that time, you'll be a senior, and we can help provide transportation if that's a concern for you. But you'll spend 6 hours on the West Georgia Tech campus. And I already said if you stay in the program for 1 year and complete the salon spa specialist, then you'll be a pathway completer in 1 year instead of it taking 3 semesters. Okay. We wanted to make sure that we stress the attendance policy. Okay. This will be a college class, and that's going to be a mindset shift for some of us, just because we're used to the high school's attendance policy, right? But you'll lose credit after 4 absences at the high school, correct? 4 unexcused. Well, they have a very strict attendance policy as well. So 2 high school absences, because you're essentially taking 2 classes at the same time. So 2 high school absences is going to equal 1 college absence. You are only allowed 2 absences, 2 college absences for the whole semester. So really and truly, it works out to be the same as our attendance policy, except for they don't care if it's medical. Okay? So if you're going to the doctor, and I say this with love in my heart, but if we're getting a doctor for a stomach ache every couple of weeks, guys, it's not that we can't work with you if you come down with the flu. Okay? An extenuating circumstance that there's no way you could have seen that coming. Okay? But they take attendance very, very, very seriously, because you're going to get ready. They're going to put their name on you and say, this is a West Georgia Tech kid going for licensure at the state board. And they want you to pass, and they want you to be successful. So if you're not able to come one semester and attendance is going to be hard for you, we may need to press pause, and we may need to come back and revisit that later. Okay? Also remember that in dual enrollment, if you fail 2 classes and you're taking 2 classes at a time, then you're no longer eligible for dual enrollment funding, correct?
It's based on the semester.
Okay.
But yeah, you do have to make sure that you're completing, because if you have 2 semesters of non-completion, it will knock you out of dual
I'm sorry.
enrollment funding.
I said 2 classes, 2 semesters. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Now, we still want you to participate in skills, because Miss Dee Dee is going to want you to participate in skills at the college. So we will excuse that kind of absence. Say, like, wrestling is gone right now. Can you go to your wrestling event? Can you go to your softball event? Yes. Okay. But you still have to make up your lab hours with Ms. Holbrooks. So we'll excuse it, but there's time built in class 2 that you can go and make up your lab time with her. Or you can also go to the West Georgia campus and make it up in the evenings. Okay? All right. Any questions about attendance? Here's a great way to think about attendance. Show up every day and give your best every single day. If you are truly sick and you've not missed any other days, we will do our very best to work with you. So what if you get in this? So we need you to commit for the year, because we're going to lay out your schedule for the year. And you're going to have a special schedule with your cohort. So we need you to commit for the year. Well, what if you don't like it after a year? You can get out. Okay? You can get out, and you will have a technical certificate from the college. Okay? So we just need you to commit to those 4 classes here at the high school. If you go through from a sophomore, if you start in 10th grade to a senior, you're ready to go test at the end. Okay? Miss Dee Dee's you'll have 2 years with Miss Holbrooks and some time with Miss Dee Dee or one of her compatriots, and they'll get you ready, and you'll be ready to go. Okay? If you are junior and senior, if you start as a junior and do junior and senior year, then you'll just have 2 semesters left at West Georgia Tech. It's written right there if I can just read. Okay? All right. So we just need you to communicate with us about your career goals. At the end of next year, if you're like, hey, I don't love it, then just tell us, okay? And we will work your schedule out to finish without doing cosmetology, but we kind of need you to commit for 1 year. We're going to talk about some options for accelerated career that may knock off some of the academic classes that you need to take, but we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so everybody is starting here. So these are the classes that you would take in the fall semester with Ms. Holbrooks. Okay. And your Cosmetology 1000 class, that would be your responsibility to complete online at home. That would be your Monday class. And you would spend Monday doing some of this coursework. Now, the way your schedule is laid out, there's a little bit of time built into your day that's Ms. Holbrooks' planning, but you'll hang out with her, that you could also work on that. But that 1000 class is your online class that you're responsible for doing yourself. That way, you can go and with Ms. Holbrooks and y'all can start working in the lab for these other 2 classes, okay? Then your spring semester, again, you'll have an online class that's your responsibility and then 2 lab classes. So what that means is you'll really wind up having 5 classes each semester. Your online class, your 2 academics to complete your academic high school requirements, and then your lab classes with Ms. Holbrooks. Okay? I'm going to stop right here for just a second and ask, does anybody have any questions right now? Yes, ma'am.
The online portion, can it be completed any time during the day for our kids that do sports and have practices on Mondays?
Can the online portion be completed at any point during the week as long as it's done by the deadline through CourseDen? Yes. The judges say yes. Okay. So we know that Wi-Fi at our homes, for some homes, is still a struggle. Some of us just don't have a provider, and the only internet access they have is on their phones. So that will also be really helpful. Remember, you can get here as early as 7:40 to use our internet. You can sit in the cafeteria. You can come to Ms. Holbrooks' room after that. You have plenty of time to use the Wi-Fi here if that's a need that you have, okay? If you are closer to the Waco campus and you need to use their internet, then you can go there on Mondays. You are a West Georgia Tech student and you have access to all the amenities that provides. So the assignments are for a whole week and they take about 3 hours of applied, dedicated time for you to knock out, okay? So at the end of that year, you've worked really hard. You are going to have a technical certificate that you can walk out with that nobody can ever take from you, and that any technical college in Georgia you go to, you start at that level. That's your first building block, okay? Life happens, you can leave the program. That's okay. If you're not enjoying it, that's okay. Or you can keep going. So if you're year 2, okay, then this is what your next couple of semesters will look like. You'll still have classes here at the high school, your academic classes, but with Ms. Holbrooks, you'll be taking your fall semester, you'll be taking these 2 classes, okay? And then your spring semester, you'll be taking these 2 again. You can do online core with West Georgia Tech, if that's more how you want to handle your life, or you can take our academic classes here at the high school. Okay? If you need 3 core classes here at the high school, that's still okay, because you will be offered these evening classes at the Murphy campus or at the Carroll campus, whichever one you're closer to or fits your lifestyle better. The time's a little different on both of them, okay? So we can still work it into your schedule. You would just go to school during the day here at the high school. We would leave your 4th block open. That would give you time to transition to one of these 2 campuses in the afternoon safely, okay? Again, our district has been very, very kind in providing transportation for our students who don't have a car, or if the Carroll campus is where you need to go, but the gas money is just too much, I get it. Then they have been very generous at the transportation department to take our kids back and forth to class, okay? Once you're a pathway completer and you get a TCC, you will get a cord because you completed the pathway, and then your successful completion and earning a TCC is your EOPA. So right now, the way it's written is, because we didn't know this was coming up, but right now the way it's written is you have to complete the pathway and pass the EOPA. Earning that technical certificate will count as your EOPA, so you will get a cord. I know that's very important. You also get one for dual enrollment that we'll give out at our CCA award. So you're going to get the gold cord for West Georgia Tech being dual enrolled, and then you're also going to get whichever pathway. If this is your second pathway, you'll get your blue cord, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right, so if you are in 10th grade, if you're going to start as a 10th grader, you're going to get to year 3. At this point, you are going to transition to the technical college campus, okay? Because this is where you are going to be live work all day long, and you're going to love it because it's probably what you love best about cosmetology, right? Getting to work on clients. And they actually have clients come in on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You'll have real clients making appointments with you, and you'll be supervised, but you'll actually get to work on real live clients, guys. So this is the goal. And so your day, you're going to be on your feet all day working with Miss Dee Dee, okay? You can do this during the day if you've completed all of your other high school requirements, okay? If you have not completed all of your other high school requirements, still okay. They have the night classes, okay? Okay. And if you will look at the bottom of each screen, once we post this, if there's a, it's going to pull up your license. It will pull up all the program requirements and show you exactly what you're getting every year from the West Georgia Tech website, okay? And I've linked that for everything we just talked about. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pause again. Think of what question that you might have. Yes, ma'am.
If the academic classes take up their regularly scheduled blocks, and then this pathway takes up the others, when will they have time for their foreign language requirement?
I'm glad you, so the question was, what if all their academic classes take up most of their 3 blocks that we would have scheduled for the first part of the day, your transition block, and then you're doing your cosmetology in the evening. So when would you have time for your foreign language? I'm going to answer that specifically at the very end, but that was a great question. Thank you. Okay, so by the end, you're going to be 1, 2, 3 ready for state licensure in 3 years, okay? Now, let's talk about graduation requirements. You have to have 26 credits to graduate. We offer you the opportunity, if you do the math, we offer you the opportunity to earn 32 credits, okay? So most of the time, we can work it out where you can stay here during the school, your first 2 years, you can stay here the whole day. Now that last year, you're going to have to go at some point. But you should have time as long as you complete successfully. You come every day and you work hard, you should be able to knock that out and we can handle it. If you know in your whole heart that what you want to do is be a cosmetologist, okay, then we have another option. And if you don't want to do all the academic classes, we have accelerated career. But it's a high-risk, high-reward situation. You commit to it with your whole heart because you know you want to be a cosmetologist. And what that does is that allows you to enter the workforce even earlier. Well, you still have to be 18. 16 for the state board test. 16 for this.
They'll let you at 16.
16 for this.
A high school diploma.
16 with a high school diploma. I can't know everything. Thank y'all for being here. 16 with a high school diploma through accelerated career, and you can go to work. Okay? You take 2 math classes, and you have to take all your EOCs. You take 2 math, 2 science, 2 English, 2 social studies. There's a little leeway there, but that's kind of the general plan. You have to take your health and PE class because everybody likes to drive. And then you complete this program. And those are all the graduation requirements that you have to meet to do accelerated career. Okay, I think I have 10 or 12 students right now that are doing accelerated career in precision machining, HVAC, and welding that are taking advantage of this. I have a student who will graduate with his welding diploma from West Georgia Tech, his welding diploma, before he ever graduates from high school. Okay, that could be you. If you are 16, we'll get you graduated through accelerated career and you complete these classes. Okay. This is a special program, so if you're interested in this, when we leave this afternoon, you're going to take a short little survey. If you tell me that you want to do accelerated career and you're interested in getting out of high school early and shortening the number of academic classes, then you and I will sit down and talk one-on-one, and then you and your parents will sit down and talk. Okay, just to make sure that you understand all the ins and outs of accelerated career. And again, the QR code that's up there will take you to all the requirements, the written out requirements for accelerated career in detail. Okay, all right. So now ask any questions, but I already figured we would have the foreign language requirement, so I'll get to that in just a second. Ms. Wesson?
Yes, so if you're already in ninth grade in cosmetology, how much of that credit gets carried forward in this portion?
Right. So that is a great question. How much of the credit that you've already gotten for cosmetology in high school is going to carry over to this? Unfortunately, if you are not a pathway completer who passed the EOPA, you wouldn't receive any credit for those classes other than elective credits towards graduation. So, but if anybody is in here and you are a pathway completer that passed the EOPA, then we can do some, I think we have articulated credit. Okay. So, but again, once you tell me who you are and that you're interested in this, I'm going to go back and pour into your transcript and see who gets what, okay? All right. Good question. So, foreign language requirement. The only reason that you have a foreign language requirement is because four-year universities require a foreign language at the high school level to meet their graduation requirements, or their entry requirements, not graduation, okay? If you do not plan on going to a four-year college, then you don't have to do that, okay? It is only to get into a four-year college. If you think, well, I might want to do that, then West Georgia Tech offers online foreign language classes that you can add to what you got going. So if you're doing accelerated career and you've lessened the number of high school classes that you need to take, then you might pick up a couple of foreign languages just to make sure. The other option is, no matter what you do, how you graduate, if you pursue your associate's degree through a technical college, it locks in your associate's degree, and that will transfer to a four-year college. Okay, it locks you in. So we can maneuver, yes. Even if you graduate accelerated career, you're still going to get the same diploma as everybody else, but when you graduate from accelerated career, you can't go straight to a four-year college. You have to complete your associate's degree through a technical college, lock in that associate's, and then you apply to a four-year college. Okay.
And there is funding for that, if you graduate under accelerated career.
Yes.
To help with that.
Different pot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically what Georgia has said is we need people in the workforce doing these things. It's a high demand career list. And they're trying to get people who have the skills already. You young adults have the skills already. Y'all are amazing. And they're saying, hey, let's go ahead and get in the workforce. If you know what you want to do and you love it, come to work. So they're paying for it too. Also, remember, this will be a dual enrollment class on our campus. So, West Georgia Tech rules apply. Okay, I'm going to enforce the West Georgia Tech handbook, but I'm also going to enforce our our Haralson County student handbook. So you kind of have two sets of rules. The other little caveat, if you haven't been in a dual enrollment class before, parents, this is you guys. You can't call up here and ask for, while they're dual enrolled in Ms. Holbrook's class, you cannot ask Ms. Holbrooks for their grade because they are a college student, unless you sign a waiver that says she can tell you what their grade is. Okay? She doesn't have to tell you what their grade is, and I don't have to tell you what their discipline was, unless you sign the waiver. But there is a waiver that you can sign with your student that allows me to share that information with you and allows Ms. Holbrooks to share that information with you. But otherwise, they are a college student, just like they're 18, and we don't have to share that information. Okay?
And those grades also don't show up in the Infinite campus.
Correct.
It confuses some parents at times, yeah.
So, thank you, Ms. Levern. The grades won't show up in Infinite Campus. That means you won't get a report card or a progress report. Your student is going to have to tell you, I'm struggling. Your student can communicate that information with you, but without the waiver, we cannot communicate that information with you.
But we do have some early alert systems. So
Yes.
if the instructor notifies us that the student is struggling, we communicate that with the high school. So that information can get shared
Yes.
through that channel.
And I'll give you an example. So I had a student that didn't realize they had the next set of classes starting, so they didn't go to their classes. I got an email that said, hey, where's little Susie? And I said, oh, well, let me go find out. They didn't realize that, because sometimes they have 8-week courses. They didn't realize their 8-week course had started again. They just didn't know. So they let me know after I think 2 days were missed, and I was able to call the kid, and I will call your student, and I will say, where are you? What are you doing? What's going on? And I'm going to communicate with your student. Okay? All right. Great questions. So that's just a little, sometimes when parents call me and they say, how are they doing in their HVAC class? And I'm like, I can't tell you without the waiver. And so please don't be mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. But there is a waiver. And that brings us to the last little bit. I do need your interaction at this point, though. If you think this is for you and you're committed and this is what you want to do, if you will use that top QR code and scan it and sign up. Again, I'm going to share this out. If there's a way for me to share it on Facebook, I'm going to put it there. And this video. We would really like to know what your plans are so that we can plan by February 28th. And I'll put this back up in just a second if you're not able to get it. But I wanted to show you, if you wanted parents, if you wanted to preview what the dual enrollment requirements are, I was going to show you how to navigate to that. So this is the Haralson County High School webpage. If you scroll down, over here on the side, there's a bar, and it says dual enrollment. You'll click that. And Coach Clayton has done a fabulous job setting everything up so that when you click on it, if you click getting started, it walks you through every single step that you need to do right here. So if you just pull this up and all the links are clickable if there is something that you need to click on. And you are all set up. Like I said, everything is clickable. Okay. West Georgia Tech uses Blackboard learning instead of what we use is Google Classroom. They have tutorials on how to use it. They have a really helpful staff, as I found out, that will help you navigate Blackboard if that's scary to you. Your student will have a Haralson County Schools email address, but they'll also have a West Georgia Tech email address. They'll need to check both regularly for updates and information and to make sure that they are registered and enrolled. The benefit for you guys about this is we kind of know you're coming and know to put you in the class as long as you filled out all the paperwork. Okay? All right. What lingering questions do you have? What fears do you have? What concerns do you have? Yes, ma'am.
The steps that you just listed,
Yeah.
is this something they can go ahead and start doing?
They absolutely can. At one step in the process for Georgia Futures, they're going to have to put in a parent email. And so they'll tell your kid, when you get to the part about the parent email, let you know. And they'll just say, hey, Mom, I need you to go check your email. And it's super easy on the parent part. Any other concerns that you have? Kids, y'all talk to me. What concerns do you have about this? What's scaring you? What made you draw up a little bit? Tell me.
So we're going to be doing the classes here, like with Ms. Holbrook.
What grade are you in?
Well, going into
You're going into 11. So yes, all of your program will be here with Ms. Holbrooks. Yes.
So you'll be in class with 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. So they'll all be in class together
Yep.
for this first year. You can start in 12th grade, you can start in 11th grade, you can start in 10th grade.
Okay.
And the 10th graders are the only ones, if you start in 10th grade, that have to leave the base high school the third year. Because, 11th grader, they'll finish and graduate and you're going to come anyway. They'll have 2 years. A 12th grader will have 1 year and then you'll come to West Georgia Tech because you're graduating anyway. And those are 4 days a week, 6 hours a day when you come to West Georgia Tech.
They're on a 4-day-a-week schedule too, but they get Fridays
We
off.
get Fridays off.
Yeah. Switch it up a little on you guys. All right. Kids, if you tell me what's scaring you and what fears you have, that helps me. It's actually helping me if you tell me that. So don't stay quiet. If
Helps everybody.
if talking out loud in here is not your thing, I'm here for that. I understand. You can always stop by my office. You can tell Ms. Holbrooks what you're scared of. You can send me an email and say, you know, I've been thinking about it, and I would do this if. I would do it if. Tell me what your if is, okay? Y'all have a different perspective than us, so we want to hear that from you, and we want to make it work. Okay? Does anybody have an if before we leave? You can lean over and whisper it to your parent. No.
Here's the big plus on this. For any of you that really want to go into cosmetology, okay, for years people have taken my class every semester, but then when it gets time to go to West Georgia Tech, for every credit they can get, they're having to take a 50 to 100 question test to get that college credit. Now, they're having to take a test
Well,
on
the
a
minimum
class.
score too, but- which yours meet always, but.
Right, but, you know, you have to do that, and it might be on a class they took their sophomore year, and they're having to test after they've graduated. So this is awesome because they're getting their college credit with no problem right now.
And as long as you make a C or better, you'll earn the college credit, which you would need to do that to maintain anyway, so.
And I can't see any of y'all having a problem with that.
And we only have 2 classes, so your students that have already graduated, that are at West Georgia Tech right now, are so jealous. So, because they had to redo everything.
Oh, the ones that's already graduated.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they are going.
One
to
did
have
my
a-
hair last night. I had to hear about it for a long time. So, all right, guys. Even if you're thinking like, that's not maybe what I want to do for my career, but I want a good paying job while I'm working towards this. I need something to get me through college. If you have that certificate, okay, the more education you have, the more likely you're going to be to score that job at a salon. Or, I mean, just be a cosmetologist. You can work around the super flexible job for all the things you want to do in your life, okay?
Get your master cosmetologist and you can still work in
Still,
the esthetician field also with
Yes.
skincare, which is huge right now.
yes.
Pay your way through the 4-year degree too. I mean, you gotta work somewhere when you get your 4-year degree.
I did. All right. Any other questions or concerns? Okay. We're going to hang out for just a little while. So if you want to come and ask us individually, we're here. Email us. Email is the best way to get us because we're all over the place. But if I don't know the answer, you can always email me. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to loop these ladies in and make sure that you get the answers to your questions. But like I said, we just need to know what you think you might want to do by February 28th. Okay? All right. Well, thank y'all for coming. I hope you have a great night. I'm going to turn off this recording now.
And we're excited.
Thank you.